All right, everybody. Hey, it's Mrs. Goldson. And this is our quiz that we just took this week, and we are going to correct it together. I'm not even going to go into the correction format in the video because we are about to do that in class, and we are really going to focus on analyzing our mistakes and being very specific about what we did incorrectly, because this quiz we didn't have a lot of good scores. So we are going to just correct ourselves together and talk about this quiz in detail. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So let's look at number one. Okay, number one, you've got -2 times the group of x minus 9. And what a lot of people forgot on this quiz is that, number one, when you distribute, you have to distribute to both terms. Like, a lot of people have the -2x, but then they still wrote -9, which of course got it wrong. So you got to distribute to both terms. And then the second major thing is that when you see any negative on the outside of parentheses, even when it's with a number, it's going to flip the sign of the stuff that's in the parentheses. So let's say I put a -3 out here. This would distribute to both, and it would be -15x minus 18. Okay? And we got to make sure we include that letter. So let's go back to the quiz. Okay, so number one, -2 times the group of x minus 9, distribute to both. My expression is going to be -2x, because a -2 times x is -2x. And a -2 times -9 is a positive 18. This is it, because this is an x term, and this is a term without an x. You cannot add these together. You cannot say this is 16x. You cannot say that this is 20x. These are not x's. These are -2x's plus just a regular 18. All right, let's look at number two. Number two, I'm going to do my arrows underneath like that. So distribute the 4 to -5x. So 4 times -5x would be -20x. Now distribute the 4 to that -9, and that will be minus, because a positive times a -9 is a negative, so minus 36. That is your answer. You're not going to get anything like a -56. This is it. All right, let's look at number three. Number three says, find the sum of 2x minus 4 and -10x plus 7. First, we got to know sum means addition. All right. And so now I'm just going to write these things out with a plus sign in between. So this is going to be 2x minus 4 plus, and I dropped those parentheses because there's nothing in front, plus -10x plus 7. And I dropped the grouping parentheses because there's nothing in front of that set of parentheses. So I can just drop them. Now combine like terms. So I've got 2x and I've got this -10x. 2 plus -10 is going to be -8x. And then I've got a -4 and 7. So -4 plus 7, that's going to be a positive 3. Okay, because that's like doing 7 minus 4. This is your answer. That is it. There's nothing else we can do unless we figure out what x is. Let's come over here to number 4. The problem is 7 times -5x plus 2 times -4y plus the group of 5 times z times 9. This is multiplication, so I'm going to multiply these out. 7 -5x's will make -35x's plus 2 times a -4y. And think of 2 times -4. That's going to be a -8y plus, bringing the sign, 5 times z times 9. That is going to, well, I know 5 times 9 is 45. Then 45 times z is 45z. Okay, so you could have either had this, or you could have had just went straight into negative 35x minus 8y plus 45z. But we got to know that this 8y is negative and that 35x is negative as well. All right, let's look at number 5. Number 5. Here we about to start this negative distribution thing that threw everybody off. So I've got nothing in front of these parentheses. So this is 4f minus 3 plus 2g minus a negative 4g.
What are you doing?
Nia, I'm making a video. You got to go out. I love you. Bye. Okay. All right. So 4f minus 3 plus 2g minus the group of negative 4g plus 2. Nothing in front of these parentheses. Drop them. So 4f minus 3 plus 2g. Now this negative gets distributed here, and that negative gets distributed there. It's almost like saying, if you're taking away a negative 4g, taking away a negative, or a negative times a negative, is plus 4g. Taking away 2 is minus 2. Now from this, you got to combine like terms. So I see a 4f, and I don't see any more f, so I just bring that down, 4f. Then I've got a negative 3. What else can I put with negative 3? This negative 2. So negative 3 plus negative 2 is negative 5. Now I've got my g terms, 2g and 4g. Actually, I should have circled those, but I already used a square. So 2g plus 4g is plus 6g. And this is the end. You cannot do anything else at that point. All right. Number 6 says subtract 9m from 5m plus 2. Be careful with this one. So if I am subtracting 9m from this, that means I am taking away from this. So that means I've got to write that first. So that's going to be 5m plus 2 minus 9m. That's my expression. It's not in standard form yet because I've got like terms I can combine. So I'm going to combine 5m and a negative 9m, which will be like 5 minus 9, negative 4m. And this 2 is left. Nothing else left for me to do with that 2, so plus 2. That is my final answer. All right. Number 7. 3x minus the group of 2x plus 5. So remember, I am taking away 2x, and I'm also taking away 5. So I've got to distribute that negative. So this will become 3x minus 2x minus 5. That negative is going to flip the sign of the terms inside. Now combine like terms. I got my 3x here, got my negative 2x there. So that's like doing 3 minus 2. So 3x minus 2x is x. This negative 5 is just hanging alone, so you just write it next to that x. This is it. X minus 5. If you had x plus negative 5, that's cool. Oh, and let me go up here. Up here for number 5, if you have 4f plus negative 5 plus 6g, that's cool too, because you know subtraction can be written as addition. All right, let's do number 8. Number 8, I've got the group of 2.1m minus 5.2 plus the group of 3.7m minus 6.4. No negatives outside the parentheses. Therefore, these parentheses can just fall off. So I'm going to rewrite it. 2.1m minus 5.2 plus 3.7m minus 6.4. Combine like terms. So I got 2.1m plus 3.7m. In my head, I'm thinking of this like 21 and 37. So 2.1 plus 3.7 is 5.8. Don't forget your m. And we've got a negative 5.2 and a negative 6.4. So both of those are negative. So I can just add them and keep it negative. So 5.2 plus 6.4, that's going to be 11.6. That's my final answer, 5.8m minus 11.6. All right. Oh, and I should have said this at the very beginning, but I know I'll say this in class. Please pause the video between each question so that you can correct your quiz and analyze what mistakes you made. Being very particular about our mistakes. All right, let's flip it over. All right, let's look at these directions. Put the camera up a little bit. Okay, it says put into standard form by, I'm trying to fix this. Here, let me just focus right there. Okay, so put into standard form by eliminating parentheses and combining like terms. Evaluate the new expression by replacing the variable with the given value into your standard form equation. All right, let's look at number 9. It's going to be, it's a little awkward. Okay, we're going to stay right there no matter what. All right, so we got 4y minus the group of 3 plus y. That means you are taking away 3 and you're also taking away y. That's what, so we're distributing a negative. So I'm going to rewrite this without the parentheses. So that's going to be 4y minus 3 minus y. That's not standard form yet because I got to combine like terms. So I've got a 4y and I've got a minus y. So 4y minus y. If I've got 4 y's, take away 1, I'm left with 3. So that's 3y. And then that minus 3 just comes right down because there's no other number terms. So minus 3. That's your standard form. Now solve this for y equals 10. So I'm going to take out my y, put in 10. So 3 times 10, and I'm using my standard form expression, minus 3. Order of operations, multiply before I subtract. So 3 times 10 is 30. And then bring down my minus 3. 30 minus 3 equals 27. So that's my answer for that. All right. Some classes did number 10, but some classes didn't. So let's do number 10 in here. So we've got 6c minus 4 minus the group of c minus 3. So that means you are taking away c and taking away a negative 3. So this negative is going to flip the sign. Nothing in front of these parentheses. Drop them. 6c minus 4 minus c. And since I'm taking away a negative, this negative is going to change that negative to a positive. So plus 3. Combine like terms. Got a 6c. Got a negative c. 6c minus 1c. If you like to visualize a 1 in there, you can. So 6 minus 1, that's 5c. And I've got a negative 4 and a positive 3. Negative 4 plus 3, different signs, subtract, keep the sign of the larger absolute value. So that's going to be minus 1 because my negative 4 has a bigger absolute value than 3. Now, so my standard form expression is 5c minus 1. Now I'm going to take out the c, put in the 10, and solve it. So 5 times 10 minus 1. So 5 times 10 is 50 minus 1. That equals 49. Okay. All right. 2 more. All right. Number 11. I've got 3x minus the group of 2 plus 4x. So this negative is going to change the game because I'm going to take away 2 as well as take away 4x. So I'm going to rewrite it without the parentheses. 3x minus 2 minus 4x. Combine like terms. 3x and a negative 4x. That is going to be a negative x because 3 minus 4 is negative 1. So negative x. And then you got no other terms to go with that negative 2. So just bring that down. Minus 2. Now, so this is our standard form expression. Now solve for x equals 10. So let's take out the x. Put in 10. So I've got a negative 10 minus 2. Now, some people knew that this was negative 12 without changing it to addition, but every time I see subtraction, I'm going to change it to addition. So it's going to be negative 10 KCO plus negative 2. And I know that's negative 12. That's my answer for number 11. And last one, number 12. All right. So I am going to distribute this negative. So my problem is 3x minus the group of negative 2 plus 4x. So I got to take away a negative, which will end up being positive, and take away a positive, which will end up being negative. Rewrite it without the parentheses and the negative distributed. So this is going to be 3x plus 2 minus 4x. Combine like terms. 3x and negative 4x. I'll box it so you can see. So again, 3 minus 4 is negative 1. So this is going to be negative 1x. And I've got plus 2. Plus 2. All right. So that's my standard form. And now I'm going to take out the x. Put in the 10. So negative 10 plus 2. I got a negative and a positive. Different signs. Make it a subtraction problem. 10 minus 2, which is 8. What sign do I keep? I keep the sign of the integer with the biggest squad. So this is more negative as opposed to this being positive. So I'm going to keep it negative. My answer is negative 8. All right. This is it. Peace and love to you. And I hope that this was helpful in correcting your quiz. And see y'all soon. Peace.